Gladiator is one of the 8 playable classes of AION 2. This is a melee DPS class. It can be also a tank in some content using Greatsword as a main weapon. In today's video, you'll find out everything what we know so far about this class. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of AION 2 videos in the future. Here on my YouTube channel, I'm preparing lots of guides for new players. PvP-wise and PvE-wise, best gear for each class, best builds for each class, dungeons, raids, crafting, news and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. But now let's focus on the main topic of this video. Check out this beauty in front of you, Gladiator in action. How it's looking? It's looking very good. Like I already mentioned on beginning of this video, this is a melee DPS class using Greatsword as a main weapon. The only weapon of this class, basically because we have this system in AION 2, developers have decided to implement system where every class can use only one weapon. Main weapon, and the only weapon of the Gladiator is Greatsword, which is actually really strange. I was expecting it will be a polyarm. Most of the time, out of 15 years, how long am I playing original AION, I was playing Gladiator with polyarm or spear. However, yeah, Greatsword is here main weapon of Gladiator in AION 2. I already mentioned also on beginning of this video that Gladiator is a melee DPS class, but it can be a tank also. It should be able to tank some part of the content. Maybe for some hard content in the end game, you will actually need Templar to tank. But I can definitely confirm to you, also in original AION, as a Gladiator, I was able to tank almost all the content which Templar was able to tank. Templar is the main tank of this game. Don't worry, I got you covered. I have video of this type for each class, talking about skills, special abilities, and showcasing gameplay of each class. You can find these videos on my YouTube channel. Now, let's check a little bit of gameplay before we dive into skills. I'll talk about skills of this class in second part of this video. Regarding gameplay, how it's looking? It's looking pretty good. For one melee DPS class, you can see very fast-paced, very fluid movement of the character. Some of the skills are also range skills, which is very interesting. Lots of AoE skills, which is reminding a lot on Gladiator of original AION. You will see later when I'm going to talk about skills of this class, you can build this class skills in 2 directions. One direction would be knockdown direction, another direction would be life HP or life stealing, so life draining. Again, this is reminding a lot on Gladiator from original AION. Skills are looking good, movement of the character is looking good, and I have to admit that, yeah, many players for sure will play Gladiator as main class. I will play also this class for sure on servers in Korea and Taiwan from November 18, and you will see later on my YouTube channel full Gladiator guides, how to build up your character regarding best builds for PvP and PvE, and also how to gear up. This footage in front of you, that is very interesting, is so far the only real gameplay footage which we have seen regarding Gladiator class. For other classes, we have seen already sometimes during developers live stream some classes in action. Gladiator, never. What you can see right now in front of you, this is it at this point in time. But don't worry, like I said, I got you covered. After launch of the game on November 18, I will have lots of footage from real gameplay of the Gladiator with analysis of the skills and everything about this class. Now, regarding gameplay, this is it, nothing more. Now, let's talk about skills of Gladiator class. Don't be confused by title of this post, Sword Star, that is actual Gladiator, and here we have some information about skills of this class. Sword Star is easy to play and offers a great experience. Okay, that's good for all the new players to AION IP. At first glance, it seems a bit clunky and slow. I wouldn't say that, but okay, some players can already play Gladiator during FGT tests, so if they say so, I'll believe that. But the actual gameplay is very smooth, absolutely. The roll skill is very useful. The downside, it's very poor mobility. Mouse cannot be used while moving. This is actually very surprising, and I'm not sure can I believe this feedback, because we have seen that you can actually move while you attack for all other classes. This is the game. AION 2 is MMORPG where you can move while you attack. So when they say that it's having very poor mobility, Gladiator, that most of the skills you cannot use while moving, that's very strange. However, we are going to check this out when we get in the game. However, you can use the roll to cancel after cast animation. This is good for even smoother gameplay. The wide ranging of area of effect attacks, AoE attacks, are incredibly satisfying with explosive sound effects and dazzling special effects. I have to mention that even in original AION, Gladiator was so much satisfaction to play. That was insane. You really could feel those skills hitting your enemy. It was incredible. So this feedback is not surprising me. Sword Masters, actually Gladiator, don't need to use many potions when clearing mobs. They have very high defense and their lifesteal and knockdown abilities are extremely strong. I already mentioned this will be two ways, two directions, two different trees how you can build your Gladiator. I will make dedicated videos about each one of these skill trees when we get later in the game, playing the game on servers in Korea and Taiwan. Very high defense. Not a surprise, that's good for this class, and again, that was similar to Gladiator in original AION. The leg strikes, aerial throws, and elbow strikes are better than in original game, okay? The killing aura break effect is currently missing. Players submitted feedback on this, so it's unclear if it will change. The abnormal statuses we observed in PvP so far are knockdown and being thrown into the air. Gladiators throw people whenever they see them. That's actually funny feedback. This is good. Leap slash, skill number 1. Wind thrust, 10-second cooldown, 20-meter range, MP cost. I already mentioned Gladiator will need to have some range abilities because every class can use only one weapon. Gladiator, obviously, greatsword. In the past, in original AION, I was using a longbow on my Gladiator. Yes, I was able to do that when I needed some range skills. However, now, how would you have any range skill? So they have implemented, obviously, for this class, even though this is a melee DPS class, some range abilities, probably few range abilities. And range explosion, next skill here, throws people, can be learned at level 4. Skill knocks down the opponent, consumes MP. This is very nice. Very good for PvP. Then we have here Shattering Wave. It's an AoE skill that is extremely useful. It is fast, deals high damage, and has 2 stages, a combo that consumes MP. Annihilation Strike, high single target damage, frontal fan-shaped AoE, extremely high damage, requires casting time. E skill triggers a downward stab after knocking down an opponent. The activation conditions are not as strict as in original. It's easier to activate, and the animation is not as fast as in original, with a longer recovery time. One of the downward stab skill is 0 cooldown, but 0 cooldown seems to have conditions. E2, weapon parry triggers a kicking attack, dealing area damage and immobilizing an area for approximately 4 seconds. So immobilizing area for approximately 4 seconds, that's actually pretty nice time. Q is a charge strike, requires a roll to use, but simply rolling will also work, but the target must be selected to charge. Dash distance 10 meters, so this is dash again, gap closer. 20 meters with specialization. Oh, this is good. So basically, when you upgrade your skills to a certain level, you're getting specializations. This specialization is giving you dash to 20 meters. That's amazing, especially for PvP gap closer. 50% chance to trigger knockdown. Even better, 50% chance you have that you trigger knockdown after using this skill. This is very good. Of course, in specialization. This skill is very useful in PvP. I have no doubt. I have no doubt, of course it is. Aerial Bind, also very useful in PvP for sure. 40% chance requires a knockdown target to be used. The target must be knocked down to be thrown in the air. So this is a condition. Before you can bind your target in the air, your target must be knocked down. But then again, this must be incredible in PvP. First, you knock down target on the ground, whatever skill are you going to use, and then put your target in the air. This is like amazing. Left click skill can be cast while moving. A right click skill for targeted release has a taunt effect. High single target damage, but high mana cost. A Rage Wave, area knockdown. Vampire Wave deals quite a lot of damage. This Vampire Wave could be something life leeching, a life HP leeching back to you, because we have seen also in Gladiator, in original AION, skills like Absorbing Fury, Draining Sword, where you could leech part of HP back to you depending on what kind of damage did you make. So something like that we are going to see also in AION 2 for Gladiator, at least in one skill tree, vampiric skills which are leeching HP back to you depending on how much damage did you inflict on your enemy. Other skill tree will be knockdown skill tree, probably more for PvP, but that's a story for another video. After the impact dissipates, there is an area of effect AoE skill that seems to knock down enemies. Again, knockdown, this is good. Throwing knives are a branding skill available only in the mid game. It has a balanced armor, wave armor, and self-area dot skill, berserker slam, assault strike, and focused block. The main god skills are Geekle Blessing, which increases the attack of all teammates by 20%, and Geekle Authority, which increases attack speed by 20%. This is some kind of buff, not only for yourself, but also for your party. And it's a very good buff. 20% attack for your teammates and increases attack speed for 20% for all your party. Passive, Survival Stance increases maximum health and health regeneration, increases block chance, critical hit knockdown chance, and lifesteal. Attacking has a chance to trigger 10-second Berserker state, granting massive lifesteal. Berserker, one of the legendary skills of AION and also of Gladiator in original game. In PvP, start with your first skill, then stab the opponent. Once you knock them down, finish them off immediately. Swordmasters, gladiators, desperately need to change their marks, but doing so is very expensive. Okay, so basically their skill trees. I think they're talking about here between changing your skill trees, because depending on situation, are you going to play PvP or PvE? You're going to change between two builds. One build will be life stealing, another build will be knockdown. So if you change your builds, it will require Kina. It will be very expensive. That could be potentially a problem. But again, this is topic for another video after launch of the game. The Gladiator is more of a damage dealer and not very good at tanking. This is surprising. Very surprising statement, but okay. In easier dungeons, Gladiator can tank, of course. But in high difficulty dungeons, they absolutely must protect. I mean, of course, in some high difficulty dungeons, you can take as main tank a Templar, not a Gladiator. A Gladiator cannot tank, and even tanking in easy dungeons requires excellent positioning. In short, their survivability is not strong, and like in the first game, they are best suited as a damage dealer, dealing damage to group of monsters. So AoE damage for clearing, they will be perfect class. There is still issue of over aggro, OT, when fighting bosses. Gladiator tanks are particularly prone to OT. Gladiator taunt skill is almost useless now. You still need to rely on DPS to generate threat. I have experienced that many times in original AION, because Templar have threat level very high. So Templar can keep aggro of the boss on itself no matter the damage. Templar doesn't need to have high damage. But Gladiator cannot taunt the target enough by itself. So you need to have very high DPS to keep aggro on yourself. Otherwise, some other class in your party, maybe Sorcerer, maybe Ranger, maybe Assassin, can take aggro from you, because you don't have enough taunting the target. All you have is DPS. So that potentially could be a problem. It seems like left click and right click skills can be specialized for increasing threat. This is good. So if you need that to aggro more the boss, right? Equipment also affects skills, which may lead to Gladiator being divided into lifesteal and knockdown builds. Definitely. Almost all Gladiator skills can heal, but this is only possible in the late game and requires good equipment. Just like in the first game, equipment is needed to improve the experience. This is not actually heal. To explain, this means that almost all Gladiator skills maybe can life leech from the damage. This is not actually heal. Don't worry. This is a wrong translation, a little bit twisted translation. So yeah, Gladiator will depend on the gear. Definitely. Like most other classes of AION 2, but specifically plate classes in original AION, Gladiator and Templar, they were very dependent on the gear Other classes also, but not to that point. You can play Ranger, Sorcerer, or Spirit Master even if you have a decent gear. But Gladiator, Templar, you need to have a very good gear. So as you can see from this description of skills of Gladiator class, without any doubt, this will be one of the most powerful and very interesting classes to play in AION 2. Also from this very short gameplay preview, everything what we have at this point in time, yeah, Gladiator is looking pretty good. I have no doubt many players will play it. I will play, of course, and I will test all the classes from November 18 after the game will launch on servers in Korea and Taiwan, and I will bring you all the news, best builds, best gear, and gameplay videos, detailed analysis about skills after we get a game launched on November 18. For today, this was everything what we know about Gladiator class of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch and see you soon with another AION 2 video.